So I want to talk about something that has been on my mind in general for like the past 5 years on and off. I graduated college 5 years ago, so now I am 27 years old, which is crazy to say. And things are generally going pretty well. I have a solid job, I have my own apartment. I live in an area that I like, I have good friends. However, I want a project that I can work on that means something to me. And I've tried a bunch of things over the past 5 years or so, and nothing has really stuck outside of, for lack of a better phrase, like telling my story or sharing who I am with people or the world in general in hopes that, maybe what I have gone through or what I'm going through or just the stage of life that I'm in can potentially help someone else out there. So that's kind of what I've been thinking about. And really that is just a desire to start a project that I can work on and really stick with. And there's a lot of projects that are not easy to stick with. In fact, I feel like nothing is necessarily easy to stick with because all we want to do is scroll on our phones and watch TV or play video games or whatever, or spend time with friends, or there's a lot of distractions. A lot of those distractions are good, and a lot of those distractions are also not so good. So I think the point of this channel is probably going to be just around getting through your mid to late 20s. I feel like this is a phase of life where you don't really know, what the future holds or where you're supposed to be or what you're supposed to be doing. Partially because there's so many different versions of your mid to late 20s probably all around you. So, for example, I'm sure you have some friends that might be married, or you have friends that are single, or you have friends that are like living in New York City and have a finance job or whatever, and then you have some friends that are still in your hometown, working a service industry job, or you're in your hometown, or you're in New York, or you're wherever. Like, something I am definitely realizing now is that basically there's no right way to do it. If you're at home, if you're some fancy place, life is life, and especially at this stage, there's really no right way. Same with dating. If you're single, great. If you're married, great. If you're in a relationship, great. Who cares? I think there is this like perception of your future plans. And I feel like it manifested the most in dating. There was so much emphasis on like, oh, what are your post grad plans? Oh, you're gonna go be a doctor? Great. You're gonna go like be a lawyer, you're gonna go to law school, you're gonna go to vet school, you're gonna go to, you know, whatever grad school, or oh, you're going to go straight into the workforce, you're going to get a corporate job, or you're going to go play music, or you're going to pursue art, or you're going to do whatever it might be. I feel like people wrap their identity so much around those plans. And now I can confidently tell you, 5 years after graduating college, most of the plans that people had, maybe not most, but a lot of them didn't go as they planned. To be honest, mine included. And that's fine. But it's nice to know that all of the all of the markers of success, I feel like, that were stuck in front of us post college and in college and even right after college, none of those really matter. And so I don't have a particular area of expertise, but I do tend to be like a jack of all trades kind of guy. And so I just want to share the things that I've been through and some of the stories that I've experienced over, my life, but the past 5 years specifically post college, and hopefully if you're watching this, you can get some, respite out of that, or, maybe take some advice, or just know that there's someone else going through those things. Or like if you're eating food, you can listen to me ramble. One other part of this that I wanted to talk about, which I think is timely because this is me sort of starting a project, and I have started uh, quite a few projects in the last 5 years, but I think I want to make the point that if you start a project, you should make sure that you like doing the things that are a part of that project. So not everything in the project has to be a blast all the time. It's like recording a voiceover is not always the most fun thing, and editing the video and going through your filler words and all that stuff is not always the most fun thing. However, if you totally dislike most of the steps of what you're doing and when you start a new project, it's likely that project is probably not going to work. In your 20s, you're usually starting a lot from zero, from the absolute ground level. And I know for me, that caught me off guard. Like, you think you come out of college and you're going to know stuff and you're going to be good at things. That's just not the case. It's unfortunately, it's not. Most of the things you don't know, and you're just trying, and a lot of the times you're gonna fail, and that is just what it is. And so I think my biggest advice that I'm learning is at least try to enjoy the failures. If you're just failing and it's not fun, then maybe you should try a different strategy. And the reason why I say that is, like, for example, right now I'm kind of having fun doing this voiceover, and there's some projects that I have started in the past that I'm just not having fun doing. And we get all of this info, all of this advice off of social media, from wherever, from Twitter, from Instagram, from whoever, saying like, start your faceless Instagram, YouTube, blah 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 account today, and you're going to be a millionaire or whatever. But a lot of those is just encouraging you to contribute to the slop. And that's fine, I guess. Some people like that. But for me, it kind of sucks the soul out of me. So, I think I want to do something that holds a little bit more meaning for me. And so that is why I'm recording this right now, because I want to actually connect with people. I think regardless of how you do it, we're meant to be in community with people. I think the internet is an interesting dynamic that is not always positive in creating that community, but you can positively create community on the internet and in real life. Obviously, I think that's the better way, but I do want another project to work on, and I think there's a lot of meaningful, valuable things to be covered here. And I think this is the forum where I can actually do that. So yeah, I guess my first bit of advice, which I don't really have advice, I'm just going to talk about random things, is if you're going to start a project in your 20s, don't hate it. You're going to fail, but at least like the failure. And if you like doing the project, whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to feel like you spent your time well. And it also is going to gloss over that, like, that fear of failure and that desire for like perfection. Even recording this, like, I know this is not perfect, but I'm just doing it because it's kind of fun. So I think that's all I got right now, but I got a lot of things to talk about. I don't know if I'd mentioned earlier in this video, but I guess to introduce myself sort of again, I'm a dude. I'm 27. I am a sales engineer at a tech company, and yeah, I'm just making my way through life, trying to do things better each day. Sometimes some days are not better, but some days are. So yeah, just a dude trying to talk about life and interesting things. Maybe get into some nerdy things. Since I work in tech, I spend a lot of time in AI, a lot of opinions and just interesting kind of insights working at an AI focused company on all that stuff. So I'm excited to dive into that because that's a hot topic, and then plenty of other things. So yeah, if you are watching It is the 4th of July. I decided to just chill at home. And so if you are in the USA, probably definitely not watching this on the 4th, but happy 4th. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you have a good day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.